Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Social 5 University. I'm Kate Drake. I'll be your host today, and we're going to be talking about measuring your success and some Facebook analytic tools that are available to business pages. So as always, we've got both the Q&A and the chat feature available. Feel free to ask me any questions you may have there, and I'll try to get to them as we go. And we'll, of course, have a Q&A section at the end as well. So feel free to hop in if anything I'm saying doesn't make sense, and we'll dive right in. So just a quick overview of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to do a quick introduction to Facebook analytics, kind of understanding the big 5 metrics is what we like to call them. There's kind of 5 key principles and features of these Facebook analytics. We're going to look at how you can improve those numbers, and we're also going to set a little challenge for yourselves. So really what it comes down to is analytics are measuring your performance. The definition here is historical data designed to identify trends, analyze decisions, increase knowledge, and improve performance. And I guess the question we have to ask ourselves is, why do we want these analytics on our Facebook page? And I hope the answer to that is fairly obvious, is that it tells you how you're doing and who you're reaching in your audience, and also tells you how you can improve. You can definitely look at your analytics and see what pieces of content are performing well, so you can do more of those. You can look at the things that have totally bombed, so you don't do those again. Lots of great opportunities and information we can gather from this data. So some ways to track your performance. You can track the performance of your content directly on your business page. You don't even have to use the analytics if you don't want to. So some of the ways you can do that is you can see how many people have liked your post. I'm going to go ahead and move that, sorry, so you guys can see. And in this case, you can see that this particular post was viewed by 331 people. And you're going to see that on every post that you put on Facebook. It'll tell you how many people have seen it. You can also see how many people have engaged with your post. Now, the difference is, remember, we've talked about this before, someone who sees your post is someone who, it's called an impression, and it's just someone who has seen it. Engagement is when someone has interacted with your post in some way, whether they've liked it or commented on your post or whatever. So here you can see how many people have engaged with this post, either by liking it or sharing it. This particular post had 1 like and 15 different shares. So let's look at what tends to be most successful on Facebook. So anybody have a guess as to which of these 3 posts is going to be the most successful on Facebook? They're all good, and I should clarify, they're all really good posts. They're all very compelling, dynamic, very good. But which one is performed the best? Can anybody tell? Looks like nobody wants to volunteer, and that's okay. So it's number 2 is the highest performer. And you can see that it had 373 people who saw this post. Oh, sorry, let's go back here. And then you can see down here at the bottom that it had 7 likes and 23 shares, whereas some of these other ones only had 1 like and 2 shares, okay? So that's how you can tell that that one's performing the best. Now, that's great information and everything, but it does mean you have to look at every single post individually. So if you want to look at everything as a whole, that's where these Facebook analytics tools come in. So, and on Facebook, they're called Facebook Insights. So it's located directly above the cover image on your business Facebook page. You can see up here in the corner, it's circled in orange. And this is where you're going to find all of your analytics. There's a really robust analytics tool for measuring your social media performance here. Now, one thing that's important to remember is that you need to have at least 30 likes on your business page before the analytics tool becomes available. Facebook won't activate that tool until that standard has been met. So that's just kind of their way of reducing the number of work on their end so that they only give it to pages that have at least 30 likes. So that should be most of you, I would assume. So you can go ahead and click on that Insights box, and you click check out your page insights, and you'll be taken to this analytics page, which kind of gives you a brief overview of a few things. So one is going to be your audience, the viral reach of your content, the overall engagement rate that you've got, and also the most recent Facebook posts and their performance. So let's talk about these big 5 analytical tools, as we call them. First off, likes. How many people are part of your Facebook audience? That's important to know. You know, how many people do you have who like your page? The second one here is reach, which is telling you how many people are seeing your content on your Facebook page or on their Facebook page. Now, it used to be when Facebook first got started that likes and reach were pretty much the same, right? If you were friends with someone on Facebook, they saw your content. But as Facebook has gotten bigger and bigger, and there's more and more people on it, and Facebook is trying to make a buck off of everybody who's using it, that reach number has really gone down. So you may have 20,000 likes on your page, but your reach may only be 1,000 people for that particular post who have seen that post. And so that's why we use things like advertising and these analytics tools to try and drive up that reach number so that more people can see your content. You're going to have a visits tool here, which will tell you how many people are visiting your Facebook page directly. So this is not only people who have seen your content, but who've clicked on that content to access your Facebook page. And again, that number is going to be smaller than the number of people who've seen your content, right? Because a lot of people see your content in their page, but they don't actually, or in their newsfeed, but they don't actually visit your page themselves. You're also going to have your posts, which will tell you how well your posts are performing and you know, their viewership and interaction and everything, so you can see how that's going. And then one really cool one here, I shouldn't say that, they're all really cool, but one that I particularly enjoyed is the people tab. And it'll tell you what kind of people are looking at your Facebook page. So you can get demographic information on whether your page is liked by more women or men and what age group they're in and things like that. And the cool part about that is it can help you tailor your content to meet that audience need. So let's talk a little more in depth about these measurements. So the first one is likes. This analytic measures the growth or decline of your audience on Facebook. And hopefully it's always growth, right? So it calculates the number of likes on your page with different charts like this. It'll show that we've got the total page likes over here on the left. We've got the net growth and decline over here on the right. So you can see it's, you know, it's charting how much your growth you're having on your page, when people like it and things like that. You can see over here on this other graph that tends to be a little spikier, who has liked your page, who has unliked your page, and things like that. This particular graph that we're showing doesn't have any paid likes on it. It's all organic. And remember, organic means we haven't paid for it with advertising or boosting or anything like that. So these are all just people who've stumbled across the page and liked it for that reason. And then there's a few people who decided that they maybe didn't want to follow the page anymore. And that's very normal. You know, you might see that when your page gets really popular because of a particular post, and then people tend to go through like a weed out phase every now and then where they're like, there's just too many people on my dash. I can't see the people I really care about. I'm going to weed out a few things. So a few unlikes is nothing to be too concerned about. Number 2 is reach. Now again, these are the people who are seeing your content. They can be viewing it on their newsfeed, directly on your Facebook page, or they can see it on a friend's Facebook page. So if you comment on something on Facebook, your friends will see that you left a comment, and they'll see it on their Facebook page. So you can see the reach of your content here. This is tracks, you know, over the a calendar month, how much reach you had. So obviously over here on November 31st, this page had a really great post that reached a lot of people. This other one over here on November 7th, also pretty good. Now again, these are all organic likes. You can see they're that light orange color. If we had paid likes where we paid for boosting or advertising, it would be in this dark orange. And that always makes an interesting contrast because your reach is going to really increase if you do some paid advertising. All right, so number 3 is your visits. This tracks the actual visits to your Facebook page and the visits to your special tabs as well. So you can see here, this one on the left has the sources of external traffic to your page. So that's kind of cool. You can see who visited. The darker blue is from people who saw it on their timeline. Others are from different apps and things like that. And you can kind of track where people are coming from. It'll tell you if they're on mobile, if they saw, this particular one is, you know, some of them have their YouTube channel, so they can track that. anything like that, if they're coming from your website, wherever it may be, it will track where those folks are coming from. And then this other one, it will be the visits to your Facebook page and your tabs. And so it will tell you, how they, again, kind of external refers, as they refer to them. So, this will be Google or things like that where people looked it up to try and find your page that way. All right. Any questions so far? You guys doing okay? Feel free to holler if you've got anything to ask or to add to the conversation. So number 4 is posts. And this is I really like this tab. This chart really provides a great way to analyze the posts that stream through your Facebook page that have information on your views and your engagement. So you can look at these and see, this post down here on the 5th had a lot more reach and engagement. This one down here had pretty decent reach, but much better engagement. So you can kind of look at those and see where things are performing. All of these are performing pretty well, but if you have some that are particularly high performing, you might want to analyze what you were doing differently there. Or if you're going along and you have really good performance and pretty good numbers and something totally tanks, that'll give you a good insight as to maybe that's not a great fit for your page. And then again, this last measurement is the people. And I think this is really interesting. You can view the age, the gender, the education level, and the geography of your audience. So that's really cool because it will tell you where your likes are coming from. Maybe you had an audience in a geographic location that you weren't aware of. So on this particular page that we pulled data from, this has 90% female fans and only 10% male. So as compared to the rest of Facebook, that's very heavily female dominated, obviously. But then the cool part is you can also see what age groups they fall into. So this falls pretty heavily into the 25 to 54 age range for women. It does have a few men who tend to be in that 35 to 44 age range, but it's got hardly any men in these other demographics. And it does have a few women too, but so it kind of helps you figure out who your demographic is and who you need to be gearing your post to. You can also see what type of education they have, so you can determine, a little bit about the socioeconomic status of your audience and see, or the education level. And then again, here's the geography. It'll tell you whether in this particular case, they've got 43 folks who like their page from the US, but 2 from Canada, 2 from Mexico, and 1 from Turkey. Kind of unusual. There's always some weird one thrown in there, it seems like, on business pages. So, but again, maybe you had an audience in a particular city here in the US or something like that you didn't know about. So always good to check that out and look at it and see, where it's coming from. Again, this one has 2 people from Mazatlan, Mexico. So maybe they're expats living there, or maybe they're folks from Mexico who for some reason like this particular page, whatever it may be. Always good to look at that and kind of, see who it is who's liking your page. So how do you improve your numbers, right? Here, just a couple of quick ways. Invite people to like your page. It's an easy one. Share your content with your friends. Post personal photos and events. And this is, even if we're doing posting for you, it's great if you're interacting with your page as well. We'll take care of the day-to-day in and out, but every now and then hop on there and post something of yourself or an event that your company is having or whatever it may be. You can also include that in an email invitation. You can ask people to like your page that way. You can boost some of your posts if you feel like it's something that's particularly shareable and interesting, or you can run a Facebook ad campaign. And those are all things that you can do yourself or that you can have us help you with for the boosted post and the Facebook ad campaign. We offer both of those. All right. Any last questions before we sign off? All right. Well, I would challenge all of you to hop on your business Facebook page, go check it out, and just go play around with these analytics tools a little bit. You can't hurt anything by looking at them. There's no data for you to corrupt or anything like that. So go ahead and take a look at them, play around with them, see what you find out. You may find out something interesting about your audience that you didn't know. So I really encourage you. It's really fun to analyze these and start to get a feel for who your audience is. All right, well, with that in mind, I'll go ahead and sign off, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Thanks so much.